Hi everyone, it's Antonio from AFS Photography. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So today's content, I thought I would start talking about my childhood and how that escalated to photography, being creative, and where I am pretty much now. So with my upbringing, I was pretty much diagnosed with ADHD and I pretty much had dyslexia as well. So school was a big challenge for me. But I powered through it, we got there in the end. When growing up, I was always with my brother, constantly 24/7. And we've always been, crazy imaginative, like playing with Lego, from me drawing to using imagination on the playground, and growing up with like Star Wars. My dad got me into Star Wars with the first with the original trilogy on VR, not VR, VHS. Jeez, that's going back a couple of years now. And like with the Walkman and stuff. So 90s for me was great. Eventually, my brother managed to get a PS1, so that's where I got introduced to Crash Bandicoot. That's why you see me go, wow, all the ends and stuff. So there's a little bit of childhood and humor into there. Final Fantasy, we play Final Fantasy VIII mainly on the PS1. Wipeout, Point Blank, Crunk, the Legendary. The list goes on and on. It goes on and on, quite frankly. And those are perhaps one of my best childhoods. Growing up with my brother, having that proper thick as thieves attitude with each other. So it's been amazing growing up. Moving on to careers side of it, I kind of put aside my creative things, but I still did gaming on the side. So whether it be like Minecraft or StarMade, I'll put some pictures of the stuff I've been tinkering around in StarMade. If you've not heard of StarMade, it's basically like Minecraft in space, where you get to fly ships around, build ships, raid places, and it's like all big creative things. But I'll put a few images what I've built and still building to this day when I've got time. So pretty much from there, I've always been creative. I've always built up a creative background, but then I decided that I didn't feel confident in pursuing that into a career early days. So from secondary school, I pretty much went into the food industry, hospitality, catering, and then I felt more comfortable being in front of house. So I started talking to people a lot more because I was a very talkative person. And I always like tried to get them a laugh and trying to make them feel relaxed, welcomed in any situation that I was in. So I really enjoyed growing up and really enjoyed that industry. Eventually, a couple of years down the line, I hit a brick wall and I felt like I reached the point where I was. And I did like the jobs that I applied for, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like, right, I've hit the peak now. What do I do? Where do I go? This doesn't fulfill myself anymore. This doesn't kind of like, I don't get that kind of like, what's the best word to use? That fulfillment. I'm gonna say fulfillment. And then from there, it was pretty much, I decided to take a complete gap year out. I was struggling with what I wanted to do, take a break at the same time, recuperate, and then plan out where my next journey is going forward. So from that point, after a year out, I decided to sit with my sister. We went out for a coffee, came home, we just started generally chatting, and then she was like, have you decided what you want to do yet? And I was like, I'm still indecisive. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. And at this point, I was trying to get a house and all sorts, but that's another drama for another day. So when I was speaking to my sister, she was like, oh, you've always been creative. Why don't you do something creative? So I was like, I don't know if I had the confidence yet, but I thought, you know what, shot in the dark. I've got nothing else to lose. So I thought, let's go for it. So I did a little brainstorm of the things that I like to enjoy. That would be drawing, art, gaming. I did enjoy taking pictures to begin with, and then it was just like kind of like narrowing it down to what I wanted to do. So then I decided on photography. I thought I could incorporate pretty much arts and crafts into it, with where later down the line I'd go into like set builds and stuff, or like designing my own shoot would be great. So then, yeah, I basically took the photography route. So I signed up to Leicester College at Freeman's Column locally to Leicester and did a 2-year course there. That's how I met Ellis and Ollie. Shout out to those guys. And built a friendship there, cracked on with what I needed to crack on with, and then eventually I decided on learning about my camera a little bit, getting the right equipment ready. So in my mind, I was thinking, right, I need all these bits to help me get a job, to make sure that I've got things in place for a job. And then lockdown happened. So at that point, it was very like everyone was on standstill. Everyone was having a really, really shit time. So it was very difficult on the job market. It was very difficult to apply for places because no one was applying. I was thinking I'm in the shit. And I was trying to apply to like Next. I was applying for like Next, John Lewis, River Island. I was always keeping an eye out for all those like main places that I was aware of. Had no success. And even looking at independent places, I still had no success either. It's because I didn't really have a big portfolio, and it was really sucky time, really sucky time, because it really hit my self-esteem. But then after a while, I was like, well, fuck this, I'll start my own business. So I got into contact with Princess Trust, and then they took me through the steps. And then from there, I pretty much was allowed out of lockdown. And that was where I had like meetings with the Princess Trust one-to-one, and we got talking, built a plan up, and trying to find my feet in photography. So after when lockdown was done, I tried to approach studios, had a look around my area, see what it was about. Even if I was lucky enough to apply for a job, I'll still do that as a part-time role. And that's where I came across Aaron at XYZ Studios, really. Shout out to Aaron. And from there, it was pretty much discussing, hi, I wanted a job. Are you hiring at all? It's like, no, we're not, but I'd rather you learn, develop in photography yourself. So I was like, okay, that's not a problem. So from that point, that's where we started coming in. I used people that I knew, do some headshots in, just to build up my portfolio up. And then me and Aaron built the friendship and work relationship to the point where I came in and helped maintenance in the workspaces, such as the white curve, black, help him with set builds, help him improve the studio space. And in return, he helped me with my photography, building skills up outside of Leicester College. So from that point, that was it. That was pretty much where it led me up to here, where I am now. And at this point, at the minute, it's been a very, very interesting journey, to say the least. I've now got to the point where I'm starting to struggle within myself. I still feel like there's a wall that I cannot hit and cannot get through. And annoyingly, it's myself to kind of blame, because I feel that my confidence is kind of like a weird motion. My confidence has gone like really, really good and like, right, I can crack on and do this. And then like all of a sudden it just shrinks and like literally just goes to flat. And I don't feel confident in myself. I didn't feel confident in what I was capable of doing, but it was nice to have like Aaron, Ellis, Ollie there just saying, no, we know you can do this, you can do it. And so it's always great to have a bunch of different creators that are doing their own thing, but they're so supportive of what you do. So it's trying to find now my identity, where I want to take my business and what route I want to take with my photography. But in order to do so, for that, I need to find myself and I need to discover myself a little bit more, whether if it's still doing like headshots or whether if it's something in food related that I want to bring that back in and do some creative food stuff in the studio, or if it's just expanding my horizons. Aaron's always said to me, you need to expand your horizons, stop being so narrow-driven, saying this is what you want to do. So try different things, do different things. And yeah, I'm trying to take that on board, hence why I'm doing these sort of videos now. But it's great. It's great. I've not regret anything. I've had my highs, I've had my lows, I've had my victories, I've had my defeats. But in life, there's lessons, and I feel like I'll become a better person, a better photographer, and just a better general in life of those failures, because failures, I always find, build success up. If you could just constantly succeed every time, I feel like you're not learning anything. So even if you get rejected for a job or a client, it's not the end of the world. Just review everything, saying, okay, what went well, what didn't go well, what do I take on board, and then what do I do to improve for the next client that comes along. So there's always those procedures that I'm trying to take into place now and trying to put into practice now. But overall, it's been great. It's been great. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the people around me, and they have been absolutely fantastic. So that was pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed this content, and please follow for more. I'll leave a link to myself, the studio, Ellis, Ollie's, Instagram, everyone's content and stuff, so you can have a look at their stuff and their portfolios as well. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Wow! That actually hurt.